We are live. What's up, Mr. Tyler Murdock? I'll just give you a quick introduction and then we can dive right in. But Mr. Tyler, the college dropout phenom, agency extraordinaire, right? But yeah, so Tyler, we started working together a few months ago, and you've got an amazing, incredible story that I'm really excited to share with the DH tribe and the community. And you've been able to achieve some things in rapid amount of time that many people dream about achieving their whole lives. So it's been amazing to be part of your journey and your success. And I'm really excited to dive into your story and let people know, how you did it and how they can do it. Cause you said it yourself, you're just a hungry college dude who can, if you can do it, then anybody can. But Tyler, tell us a little bit about who you were a few months ago before we started working together.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. And I'm excited to be on right now and just talking to you guys. So yeah, I like Matt said, I was just not sure really what I wanted to do. I was kind of spinning my wheels. So I knew that I was just not fit for a 9-to-5 job. Like honestly, like every time I got a summer job or did anything, I was just like, this sucks. Like this feels like hell. Like my hell, I think, would be a 9-to-5 and just counting my hours and knowing that I wasn't actually creating any value. I was just working the clock. Like that just is insane to me. And I mean, with all respect, that's great for some people, but it just has never been that way for me. And so like I just knew that like after college, I would have to probably do a 9-to-5. And I spent some time in corporate offices and hated it. I knew like just the politics and everything there was just not what I wanted at all. And so I knew that there was something else, and I wanted to be able to have freedom, not only to create wealth, but to also have freedom of time. And so like, I know people that are like doctors and lawyers and they make great money, they do well, but the problem is they don't have any time. Like they literally like may have just their evenings, right? And they work 5 or 6 days a week or even 7 days a week. And yeah, just not for me. Anyway, so I was looking for a few things. I started doing agency work. I started just hustling, trying all these different things. And there's all these experts out there that just promise they're going to make you all this money and, it's success, all that garbage. And so I didn't buy into that because I knew also that I wasn't doing this just for myself. I was doing this because I wanted to make an impact and I wanted to help people. And so my thoughts were, okay, if there was a way that I could impact more people and help people and create like this massive value while improving my financial situation, that's the way to go. And so I saw different hunger, and they just resonated with me in that part of me that I just knew that I needed to take action. When I saw the webinar, I just was like, okay, I'm doing this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to afford this. I don't know if I'm going to sell my car or if I'm going to like donate my kidney or something, but I just knew that I knew I was going to do it. And so in that decision, I didn't tell my parents because I knew they'd be pissed. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to do this. And so obviously previously I had experience with starting an agency. I was trying to kind of figure that out, and I had about 4 months under my belt. And at that point I was able to then, it was just right. And so I jumped in. It was scary. I was terrified because I didn't really think that like I knew what I was doing, and I didn't at the time. But I was able to really just jump in and do it. So that was where I was before I started working with you.
Awesome. Yeah. So I totally relate to that. I ended up working I worked with my uncle right after college, which was kind of like a chill remote job. And then I got one full-time job, but that was it. and, I just didn't last. So, I respect and admire you for, taking that plunge so early. Yeah, that's awesome. You were just super committed, clearly, and super hungry. So, I mean, what in particular were you like struggling with in terms of, getting your agency going, getting your business going, and, building the impact and the lifestyle that you wanted?
Right. Yeah. So I just remember I was doing like, I felt like I was running a call center from my room, from my dorm room, because like I was just always on the phone and I was doing all this like work that I didn't need to do. And I was getting paid like $200 per client. So I was doing a lot more than I needed to. And I felt like it got to a point where I was like, man, the irony, I was trying to escape, being an employee and working the 9 to 5, yet I'm working all of these hours. And now I feel like instead of one boss, I have 5 bosses all on my back, and they're all trying to just like, tell me why I'm not doing enough for them. And I'm just like doing everything pretty much. I feel like sometimes I'm like, man, like, is this my startup? Is this my business? Cause I'm doing all the work. Like, so I realized that there was an unhealthy imbalance in what I was doing. And I knew that this wasn't the dream. And I tried to catch it early because I knew that it would only get worse if I kept going. So that was also part of like this, where I was stuck. Was I was just like, man, I'm barely making a few $1,000s and I'm doing all of this like crap. It's just, anyway, that's kind of where I was at.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, you had a few clients, but they were taking up all your time. They were demanding. I mean, you were only charging what, like a few $100 a month, right?
Yeah. And the irony with that is I feel like when you charge less, people for some reason don't appreciate you, and they ask for more of your time. And as soon as I made that shift, so once I started working with you guys, like I made this like mental shift, and it was pivotal. Like I think this was like one of the biggest things for me, like the biggest breakthroughs so far in helping me as an entrepreneur was like, I am valuable and worth what I decide I'm worth, And so as long like I can find people that are willing to pay $2,000 for my services. And so I made that shift, and that's when everything just kind of changed. And my game, my drive elevated, as well as my income. And I was able to do so many, like, I was able to do so many cool things that summer, last summer, because of that. So.
Yeah. Awesome. So tell us a little bit, you're working with a few clients, they're taking up all your time, you're charging a few $100 a month. And you're just not really happy with your lifestyle and your timing and your impact. So, you decide to jump in, right? And tell us, how did the first few weeks go for you? What type of results did you achieve? And, take us through your journey.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I had to wait a little bit to get funding. And I was like, biting at the bit, just like, oh, I want to get started, So like once I got funding, like that night, I remember I got in this really quiet spot in my house, and I just like watched like I binge watched those videos for a little bit, and the first video really hit me. It said, this course can do what you make it. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to put in the effort, but also at the same time, like this could be the thing for you. And I remember just I paused it, and I just thought about that for a little bit. And I realized this is it. I'm going to choose right now at this very moment to not go back to what I was doing before. And then, so I started just like implementing everything, really like figuring out all the pieces of my business and helping optimize it into where I could actually grow, right? And grow scalably instead of feel like I have 20 bosses. And then I just made those jumps. I made those leaps of faith to do those things that made me uncomfortable, but I knew that I needed to do to grow. And so one of those things was raising my prices. So I got on the phone with a few of my clients, and I just said, and I told them I was raising my prices from $300 to $2,000. And they were like, you know, I lost clients. I lost some clients, but a lot of them, I was actually really surprised that they wanted to still work with me. And so I ended up going the first week, I switched over two of my clients and started, and, you know, I had, you know, returning revenue each month of $4,000, which is amazing. And then, and I got another one. So it ended up being six. By 2 weeks, I had $6K in the bank. And I was like, man, I've never really had this kind of stream of income. So it was just amazing. And then like 3 weeks later, my family is like, hey, we're going to go on this vacation. We're going to go to Lake Powell in Southern Utah and get on a houseboat and just kind of cruise. And, oh, but by the way, there's no Wi-Fi and yeah, no cell service. So good luck. You know, like, I mean, that's what my thoughts were anyway, was good luck. But the thing is the process of the course was also something. It wasn't just a course. Like there were calls in place to help me to prepare for that trip, and help me to build my system so that like when I left, I was able to have my team take care of everything. And I just had an awesome, amazing trip. And I didn't even like really think about my business, which is so like refreshing because like there's nothing like, we talk a lot in this industry about like laptop lifestyle, right? But the problem is that we don't really like live that freely a lot of times because we like become chained to our laptop, which sucks. Not fun at all. So yeah, I had that and I was just like, dude, this is really living. This is why I have a business. I don't have a business so that I have a job. I have a business so that I have a life. Yes. So yeah, anyway, I kind of rambled a bit, but yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, so I mean, like you upgraded some clients, you closed some new clients. So added about 6K in like the first 2 weeks after, you know, getting some financing, you know, which we helped you with, which, you know, was pretty scary. And we can talk about that in a bit. And then right after that, you get right into setting up, you know, your systems so that you can step away and take that, you know, week trip with your family, right? So, you know, tell us a little bit about that transition from getting ready for this trip to, you know, taking a whole week off of the grid without any client communications, any team communications. You know, how did you get ready for that, right? And how did the course help you do that?
Thanks. Yeah. So, so what I did is about 3 weeks, 3 weeks before, I made sure that I wrote down everything that I was doing and I tracked my time that it took me to do those things. So that way I would be able to know exactly what needed to be done. So I started writing these documents and these systems. I started like thinking of myself as kind of like a fast food chain of, okay, like if I had a chimpanzee at a computer, could he do this? You know what I mean? Like I was trying to like make it super simple, step by step, not assuming anything at all that they knew about anything. Like I was talking to a child and I just listed all of these things and I just created all of these. I used ClickUp. I used some of these softwares that they were directed to me to, you know, by Different Hunger and recommended. And I just took all of these systems and I made it so that I could give it to anybody and they could work for me. And then I found a team, you know, a few team members, and I had a few meetings with them, of course, before to prep and make sure they're ready. And then separately from all of this, I had fire hose protocol, which is all of my like if things go wrong, this is what you do. So then I had like, okay, well, what if their ad account gets shut down? What if this happens? What if this happens? You know, and then I told them exactly, okay, you contact this, you know, contact support Facebook here, here's a link. And those kind of things are all of that, including I had Slack. So I use Slack to communicate with my clients as well as with my team members to make sure that everything is good. And then there's just more automation tools. I don't want to get into all of that because it's kind of a lot, but really like with the automation part,
Yeah.
different over delivers in giving you the tools that you need to succeed there. So like the bottom line, that right there alone is priceless. The ability to like have a life and not just because it's so easy to just think, you know, there's a romantic idea about owning a business, but then like one day you wake up and you're like, holy shit, I hate my life, you know, like what am I doing? You wake up and you're just like, this is not what I signed up for. And so that alone is kind of a gift of knowing that like you can have control over your life and you can have control over your business. And that's just like, we all know that, but like it's a reality. It can actually happen. Like it's not just a fantasy. You can actually have that kind of control. And I learned that, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. Like amazing. You know, you set up everything and everything was self-sustaining. And you know, you had that peace of mind and clarity to step away. And you know, I know there was probably a few weeks from the time that you first talked with our team and then ended up joining. So like, you know, having gone through the experience now and gone through the accelerator and all that, I mean, what would you tell Tyler, or that, you know, that person that was kind of in the process of deciding, you know, whether or not this was right for you? And, you know, what would you tell that person?
I would say that it's so worth it to go after your dreams. It's so worth it to chase the life and live the life that you want to live. Don't settle. Don't like live in security and unhappiness. Live like, even if you have to not have that security, go after it, because like, and I'm still like early in my journey. I feel like I still have a long ways to go. And that's something that like I'm excited about is that journey and the ups and the downs of having a business. And but like not just only like business development, but personal development. And that's the thing, is I look back at who I was in May when I started, and I'm way more confident. I feel like I have way more control over like my life and influence over myself. And I also feel like I have more compassion towards other people because of that journey. So don't think about this only for your like your pocketbook or your wallet, but this is also a way for you to really like enter a whole new mindset. And Matt has called it like God mode, where it's like you're able to create. You're able to be like a creator instead of just someone who lets your life just kind of like, you know, lets other people control your life. And that's what I feel like is the biggest thing. And because in college, oh my gosh, especially in business programs, they pretty much teach you, they train you that, you know, these big businesses own you essentially. and the things that I learned sometimes in these business classes, I'm actually now like, I like to do liberal arts. So I'm like now learning about, you know, the Renaissance and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, but like when I was trying to do business, I realized they don't teach you that you have control. And that's the thing is that was one huge thing. And also I was able to travel and see the world. And I went to China. I was able to go to, at the end of the summer, I went and hiked the Great Wall of China. And that was awesome. That was freaking amazing. And I went to Mexico and went deep sea fishing. And so there's been experiences also that I've been able to get from all of this. And so kind of a long answer, but kind of a ramble, but I would definitely say, like, if you have any questions about doing it or like any reservations, just like realize that why not now? Like you don't know how many tomorrows you'll have. You don't, like, if you're not going to live today, then why live? Because it's now. Like we only have today. Today's the only thing that exists. So why are we just like wasting our time, in our fears and and making decisions out of fear, because that doesn't help us. Anyway, I love this stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, you know, you had people tell you not to do this, right? Like you had professors and other people tell you not to do this, right? So like, how did you overcome your own fear and like not knowing whether or not this would, you know, totally work out for you? Like, talk us through that process.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, I think that for me, it was like, all right, so I have this professor who's teaching at a university and not doing anything. He doesn't own a business right now. He's not like where I want to be. And then I saw you living in Colombia and having this higher purpose and helping all these people and being able to provide and travel. Like I saw your stuff and I thought, okay, so who am I going to listen to? Am I going to listen to the guy who isn't where I'm at, or the guy who is? And so that's what I do, is I try to model my life after people that are where I want to be, because you can't lead someone to where you're not at. So like, yeah, like that was the big thing for me. It was like, I gotta follow people that are doing what I want to do. And yeah, like I've done that like in other things too. Like, you know, I'm a singer, and so, you know, that, but that's the thing, is you just gotta like, you gotta be willing to hire someone that can take you. They're not there to save you. They're there to lead you. But like, because people don't think about this, but there's that opportunity cost of doing nothing. Yeah, you know, you think, oh, you know, I can't spend $2,000 on this program. I'm going to save for 4 months. You just realize that you 4 months is the time that you're paying for that. That's insane. Like you could be where you want to be in maybe 3 weeks, and yet you're going to wait 4 months. It's just, anyway. So yeah, go. That's what I would say.
Totally. Yeah. And, you know, you had to, you know, figure out and be creative with how to get some money to invest. Right. So, you know, we had our financing partner that was able to help you out and make this accessible for you. So, I mean, what was that process like, right? Like, first of all, you know, how were you able to come to terms with borrowing some cash, you know, to invest in yourself and in your business and in the program?
Yeah. So before I came like into agency work, I was actually working as intern for one of the vice presidents of the university. And I learned a lot about debt. And I learned that the school that I go to is in a lot of debt. Yet they're running and they're growing, and they're using debt as leverage instead of like consumer debt, which is buying things that are liabilities, buying things that won't get you to where you want to go, right? So I looked at it as, it took me like a while, especially, I love my father, I love my dad, but because of his medical school, he told me never to get into debt. He told me that debt is evil, and that if you go into debt, that your life is gonna go to hell in a handbag, like pretty much. Like debt was a slippery slope, which it is a slippery slope if you use it the wrong way. But when you use it in the right way, it can work wonders for you, because there are so many entrepreneurs that are successful, even using revolving credit. So like credit cards, like if you think of brands like Under Armour and other, you know, there's a lot of examples of people that use credit cards even. And that's what I had to do. To put it bluntly, I actually didn't even know that until I had almost signed the paperwork that it was a credit card that I was signing to, or, you know, whatever. But then I realized, you know what? No, like I know what I want to do, and I know that I'm going to be successful. So part of it also with that is you have to like 100% believe that first of all, you have to do the work. If you're not committed to the work, then don't even, you know, this isn't for you. But if you're going to do the work and you believe that you're going to be successful, yeah, you just gotta believe you're going to be successful. and be willing to pay the price. And so that's what I did. And I was able to quickly have an ROI within 2 months. So like, that's the thing, is you just got to remember that this is not like, even worst case scenario, you're still gonna thrive. So don't fear debt.
Yeah, totally.
That's what I tried not to do, was just to like set aside those fears that I had, because I had them, of course.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, well, I mean, it's super inspiring. Just a young dude making it happen. Yeah, and you're able to travel to China, Mexico, like all over the world, while growing the business, while serving clients, while managing a team, and while doing some schoolwork, right? Like, the whole world is changing, and you're a great example of the revolution that's going through education and entrepreneurship and all this stuff right now. So, you should be super proud of yourself and all the amazing things you've done. And yeah, I mean, tell us a little bit about your agency and what you guys do, and then how we can follow along and, stay posted on your journey.
Yeah, thank you. So I work with life coaches, so especially like weight and nutrition coaches and relationship coaches that are starting to really get in a place where they need more clients, but they need more group clients. And so I'm helping them start their groups. I'm helping them to fill those through building funnels for them. I help them with their copy. I help them with content. But mostly, yeah, I'm just doing like all of their, I've even gotten recently into podcast editing. So I'm trying to really become like this like perfect solution for these life coaches. And so if you go to my profile, you'll see there's a link to join a group. So if you're interested in doing that, if you know someone who's a life coach, I'd love to talk to them or whatever and see if it's a good fit. But yeah, we're able to get I recently had a client who she called me because I also do like a little bit of, I help them structure their business, and I've used some of these tools as well to really add value that I learned from Different Hunger. I now like kind of teach some of the stuff that's applicable. And so I had a coaching call with her, and she's like, oh, by the way, can we move our coaching call? Cause I just like totally booked my schedule and I totally forgot. And she just like 3x'd her business in the last few weeks, which is pretty cool. So awesome. We're having a lot of awesome things happen. And the big thing for me is it's just cool to like watch all of all of my clients to start like really like helping more people with their own personal development and stuff. So it's pretty cool. So that's what I'm doing, and I love it. I'm super passionate about helping other people to like get out of that fear and make impactful choices in their life. So that's what I'm doing.
Awesome, dude. Well, yeah, I mean, thank you so much for sharing your story. What's next for you?
Yeah, well, this is an update. This is an awesome update. I'm doing okay in all my classes now, finally, which is awesome. But yeah, so I have some awesome content that I'm putting out pretty soon for my business. I'm going to go to the Philippines in the next few months is the plan. And yeah, I'm just trying to stay out of trouble, graduate on time. I have my graduation in May. Then, I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Maybe I'll just kind of travel a little bit, be a nomad. I don't know. We'll see. So that's what I'm up to. So
awesome.
I do have one little thing to say. I don't know, like maybe someone needs to hear this or something, but I would just say like, don't be afraid of being young in this space. Don't be afraid of being young because there are so many people that like, and I've struggled with this myself, honestly. Like there's been times where I've got on a call or I've heard comments like, dude, you're like you're 20, because I have kind of young face. 23, I look like I'm like, 19 sometimes. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, people tell me like that I'm young, and but don't be afraid of being young in this space, because it doesn't matter how old you are. It's about the results you're able to give people
Yep.
and the way you're able to help people. So don't even listen to that crap, because it's and pretty soon you'll find out that you're making more than your professor, and that kind of, or you'll hire one of your professors, and then you'll feel really weird. So
Yeah. You actually hired a professor, right?
yeah, I did. So it's kind of weird, but
That
hey.
is, yeah, that's, we got to include that in your case study, on, Huffington Post or Next Web, wherever it's going to end up. But, yeah, that's a pretty wild story, right? Was he the one who told you not to do the program?
No, he was a different one, but
You got to hire that other guy though.
yeah, I know. The funny thing is I was in his marketing class, and he had a digital marketing class. I hired the professor for digital
Ooh,
marketing.
there you go.
And but yeah, it was just I got a C in his class because he was teaching all this stuff that wasn't used anymore, and I was just like, screw that, I'm not even wasting my time. So I barely passed his class, but whatever. And then he
Classic.
works for me. So.
And he's still working for you?
Yeah, he's helped me out with some content stuff. So
Perfect. Well, there you go. There you go, college kids. Work with DH, hire your professors. Boom. Right? But yeah, dude, that's so awesome. Like I always admire younger guys like you, that because it took me until I was, a little bit into the real world after school to really dive into building the business. So, it's awesome to see people like you that just take action like crazy, no matter how young you are, right? Like you're, I think you're our second or third college kid that we've worked with. Like Leo Ahmad is the other one. But yeah, it's so cool to see that clearly the world's changing, and you don't need to go through that path anymore. You can take a different route and really level up your life and impact in the same time. Like you said, just got to overcome that fear.
let me tell you, there are people that are pissed about that. Older generations are like,
Yeah.
who is that? It's funny. But it's awesome. We live in the best time. I feel like we live in like the best time to be an entrepreneur. So let's not waste the opportunity we have.
Totally.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, Tyler, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And, I can't wait for our next interview, when I'm sure you're going to have even more crazy, awesome stories to tell and results to share. So thank you for coming on and sharing your story with me. And like I said, very honored to be a part of your journey and continued growth.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Really, thank you for everything. It's been awesome working with you. So I'm so happy
Dude.
to come on today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome, brother. Well, thank you all for tuning in, whether you're listening in the Facebook group, YouTube, online, on our website, wherever this interview ends up. Thank you for tuning in, and follow along with Tyler Murdock on Facebook, and feel free to reach out to him or me with any questions that you may have. But, like you said, don't let fear control your life, and let Tyler be an inspiration to you who are listening to just grab left by the balls and go all in, right?
Yeah.
All right, dude. Catch you soon.
See you later.